All right, welcome back to month number 2. Today we're gonna go over the 2 different movements for this round, which are the squat, and then we're progressing from plank hold to something called bear hold, and we're gonna add shoulder taps. Hey ladies, I'm back with Tanasha. So we're gonna go over the first movement. So last time we did lunges, and now we're gonna do squats. This is like one of the king movements, queen movements, we'll say. Because it's going to use the big muscles of your lower body, and you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck with this. So points of performance, things that we want to think about while doing the squat, is your stance to start out with. So everyone's stance is a little bit different, but you want to be somewhere close to where your feet are underneath your hips. A little bit of turnout, like 5 or 10 degrees, is totally fine, but not too much. So what she's going to do is, as she squats down, she's going to reach her butt back and down and make sure that her knees are not collapsing in and her weight's in her heels. So ideally her butt's going to be below her knees, and we want to see parallel angles. So from here to here and here to here are these 2 parallel lines. That's ideal, and she's going to drive to her heels and stand up. So down with control, pause briefly at the bottom and stand up. You can, once you get the hang of this, you can speed it up a little bit since we do want to get heart rates up. So do like 5, Tanasha. Drive up. Try not to bounce too much from the bottom though. Good. That's perfect. So there's ways to scale this down. If this feels too hard, ways to make it easier. One of the ways you can adjust this is by squatting to something that's a little bit higher, and it gives you feedback. So it could be a bench, it could be a box, it could be a chair. So this way, she knows when to stop if going below her knees doesn't feel good on the knees. She can go and sit all the way down, or just go to a touch and then come back up. So that's one option. If you've got really crappy knees and squatting is just not happening, you can do something called an elevated bridge. So she's going to lay on the floor, find something that she can base her heels on, but she does want her feet a little closer than her knees. So drive your knees apart a little bit. Good. So from here, she's going to brace in the belly, tuck, squeeze, bridge her hips, squeeze her butt, hold it right there, and then come back down. So do a couple. Good. So she's driving her heels into the bench, tucking your butt, squeezing those cheeks, and bridging up, not hyperextending her back. She can also add weight to this. You can use anything that you have at home. Yeah, holding on to it keeps it safer. That's great. And then if you want to, if air squats, you're like, need a little bit more of a challenge, and that feels pretty easy, you can add weights to your air squats and turn them into goblet squats. So she's going to keep the weight super close to her body and keep it up nice and high so it keeps her chest up. There we go. So that's the squat. You've got a couple different options to work with, figure out what works best for you and it doesn't cause any joint pain. All right, on to bear hold with shoulder tap. All right, so now we're going to talk about bear hold with shoulder tap. So before we did the plank, but this time we're going to get her into a bear hold, which is on all fours and knees elevated. We're going to take away some base points and make it a little bit more challenging. So she wants to start in an all fours position, and notice that her shoulders are over her wrists and that her hips are over her knees. And so from here, her toes are going to be tucked, so nice neutral neck. What I want Tanasha to do first is to squeeze her butt and then elevate her knees just slightly off the floor. So here she is, and this is her bear hold. Pressing the floor away, imagining like she's trying to get her chest and press it away from the floor. That was perfect. Fingers are spread wide, gripping the floor. And so from here, to make this more challenging, what she's going to do is, without moving her hips or her butt very much, she's going to touch her right arm to her left shoulder. And then come back, and then alternate back and forth. So she's trying to stay as still as possible with the rest of her body and just move this one base point. The whole time too, I want you to think about slightly driving your knees apart and not letting them collapse in. So this is one option. If she wants to make it a little bit easier, she could do hand taps instead of shoulder taps. But we want to do this relatively slowly and with control. And then the last option, if taking away any of those base points is too hard, is just to hold in this position. The other option too is going to be, this is going to be extra credit, is to do a bear crawl. So super slow-mo, she's going to move opposite arm and leg. Right arm, left leg. Good, so this takes a lot of control. If you get kind of mixed up with moving opposite arm and leg, you can reset and start over again. And she could also go backwards. Oh yeah, so really small steps, knees stay hovering just above the ground, pressing the floor away. That was awesome. So these are the two movements, variations that we're gonna work with this month. Really, really, really good stuff. Feel free to reach out if you need, if you have questions or need us to help you find a different scaling option. But best of luck, kick some ass, work hard, and we'll see you for the last one.